friends. Live, Karen? What's up, guys? Anthony Monetti here.
Karen Monetti, hi.
Eating her post-workout shake. Just got done with a little workout. How do you feel, Karen?
All right.
Yeah, it's Monday.
It's Monday. And it's snowing again.
It's Monday. Are you a hate Monday kind of person?
No, it's all the same.
Yeah, right. Some folks hate Monday.
That's because they hate their job.
Well, there you go. Don't get me wrong. I like to enjoy friends and family during the weekend. I like to relax, but I'm also looking forward to the week because I love what I do, right? But Structure.
A little bit more routine. Little hot dogs.
Oh, there's two little hot dogs. Anyway, guys, today we're talking about when your friends and family don't understand and they're not in line with your goals and your healthy initiative for a new healthy lifestyle. So it happens quite a bit. It's happened to me quite a bit in my lifetime when you have different goals than the people around you and you're trying to do different things than they are. It could be coming from a couple different places, a little bit of jealousy and envy, a little bit of fear on their part that you're gonna, or insecurity that you're doing something that they can't do or that they should be doing. They may be afraid of you judging them. But I got into a deep conversation, go figure, this morning with a few of our members talking about their lifestyle and new habits and how their friends and family aren't really in line with it, so they don't support them, so to speak. So they're doing different things, and maybe they make it a little bit more challenging for them to get to their goal. So I think a lot of times when you are approached with something, obstacle, or some person who's maybe not in line, it may detract. What's the matter?
This is not a good look on camera.
Why?
Crossing your hands is very uninviting.
You look mean, right? Well, we're talking business now, Karen.
Business, sorry.
But it happens quite a bit, and it takes a special kind of mentality to kind of push through. And I always revert back to a quote that I love. Show me your inner circle, and I'll show you your future. So if your inner circle, friends and family, are not in line, or they're giving you, some challenges, then that's going to ultimately determine how well or how much success that you find, right? So Karen, you share anything about that? I know you talk about that quite a bit when you're talking with your clients one-on-one.
I do. I talk about it all the time.
Because some people obviously want to make a difference, and then they try, and then there's other people in their life that aren't on the same page. Mm-hmm. So it's very common. How do you
approach it?
How do you approach it?
What do I say?
Yeah.
I think the first thing is to realize that you're on your journey by yourself, ultimately. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, people can help you, people can motivate you, inspire you, kind of guide you, but at the end of the day, you are solely responsible for your results or lack of results. And anybody else in your circle, your family, your friends, you can't force them to be on page with you because that might not be their goal. Right? They might have a different trajectory or different wants and desires. Just like if you're not in line with what they're doing, how can you expect them to be in line with what you're doing all the time?
What's up, Berto? It's been a couple hundred years since I've seen or spoken to you,
Berto.
man. What's up, man? We talk about you guys all the time. Anyway, sidetrack. Sorry. We're Facebook Live here, guys. If you're watching us on YouTube, we do a Facebook Live every day, Monday through Friday at around 12. Put your notifications on when we're live. You can chime in and join our conversation. But what's up, Berto? Sorry, go ahead, Karen.
It's okay. So back to that. You can't, that whole saying, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, right? So you can show people ways, you can encourage them, you could share your goals with others. That doesn't mean that they're going to be in line with that and they're going to support you in that. So it ultimately comes down to really coming inward in your own self, right? And figuring out, is it worth it for me to keep going? And I have to just kind of put the blinders on to what everybody else is wanting of me or saying of me. And I got to do what fulfills me, and I got to do what I want to do to get to where I want to be. It is so much easier when somebody you're with, whether it's a friend, a family member, a spouse, a partner, is on the same page, because then it increases your chances of success by 80%. It's a huge number. However, do not let that other person, if they're not on board with you, bring you down and not get to your goals. Because at the end of the day, you're the only one who has to lay your head down on your pillow knowing what you did or did not accomplish for the day. They're not in your head, you know, they're not like laying down inside your thoughts, you know, so you ultimately just have to be an individual and do whatever it takes to get you where you want to be, ethically and morally, of course.
And ultimately, you're on, like Karen said, you're on your own journey. Ultimately, it would bring you unhappiness. It would make you unhappy if you started not doing things that you wanted to do, right? That's really common sense. So if you're doing things that weren't in line with your core values or your new way of living, then it's going to make you unhappy, and that person's going to, you know, not want to be around you anyway. So I'm going to say reevaluate your inner circle. First and foremost, number one.
Yes, but sometimes you can't do anything about your children, your parents, or your spouse. Well, you could do something about your spouse, I guess.
No, but you could look for a support. You know, we stay right as soon as you walk in our studio. This is not a gym. We are a community of people inspiring people. So it's the community that you surround yourself with. So okay, so put that, compartmentalize that. I can't change my family, right? But you can change your people who are in line with you, and you can build yourself up to be able to handle the obstacles that come your way. And that's really what it's all about. It's lonely at the top. You've heard people say that, right? And the view is way nicer at the top, but the challenge to get there is it's a long, challenging road, right? But once you get there, it's much more enjoyable. So I would say don't expect people to be in line with where you're at. Do what you got to do to get to where you want to be, but ultimately, you know, don't let the negativity kind of bring you down. And they may not be on their journey. And I always go back to saying, lead by example. If you really want to encourage your friends and family, if you really want to encourage them, you really want it for them, you can't make them do it. People come through our doors, and if they're not willing to do what's necessary to get to where they want to be, then ultimately we can't help them. I made a commitment early on in my career. I'm not going to drag people out of bed to work out. You got to show up. If you do just show up, then I'll give it all I have and you'll get to where you want to be. But if you don't, if you expect that motivation or you expect that other person to be giving you what you need, then I think you're going to be setting yourself up for failure. Ultimately, you're the driver, you're the creator, you're the producer, you're the editor, you are the author of your own life. And at the end of the day, when it's time to, you know, go wherever you're going, whatever religion you believe in, if you don't believe in any religion, wherever you think that you're going after this life, it's ultimately you're going to decide, you know, what kind of path you led and your history, your book, right? I can go on and on about that.
This is a big topic.
Jason Clark, what's up? What's up, Tim? What's up, Facebook?
Tim.
We got some Facebook
Hey,
peeps.
Liz.
All right. I love it. So, Karen, anything else you want to add on to that?
No, you know, but here's a quick tip for anybody who is in a relationship, right? And maybe their significant other is maybe somewhat supportive, like they don't really discourage you from doing it, but their actions are completely opposite of what you would hope their actions would be. For example, if you're trying to eat really healthy and your significant other goes to a fast food joint and brings a bunch of food home to eat it, that's okay, that's them, right. That's not you. So what I would always recommend in those situations is always just have healthier options at home, that if you want to still sit down and eat with them and go through the process of the socialization of it, or just feel like you're all together, always have something extra for yourself that you can still engage in the event or the situation, but you don't have to eat what they're eating. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like snacking at night is a big one I hear from a lot of our members. Like, well, after dinner, my spouse always, you know, grabs the cookies and sits down and watches TV, and I want to eat them. Well, how about go get some rice cakes or have a cup of tea? You can still sit down and watch the TV with them, but you don't have to engage in their specific activity.
So true. My mom put me in my place very, very early on. Because
Excuse me, I have to get Nick's temperature.
Okay, because I was the opposite, right? So if you're the leader or you're the cooker in your house, right? If you're providing the food for the family and you're cooking your meals and you want other people in your household to eat like you because it would be easier, do you, and don't go to the extreme, whatever you got to do. I'm not saying you shouldn't do anything, but it's going to be more of a pain in the ass, and you're going to, maybe have some resentment if you have to cook your meals and then cook something different for somebody else. So my mom put me in my place very early on. She's like, look, don't be nasty and don't expect us to eat your new bodybuilding way. So I was the complete opposite. So my mom she cooked the meals for the house. But I wasn't going to ask her to cook my separate grilled chicken and steamed broccoli or steak, whatever I was cooking. I would go outside, I would cook my own meals, and then if they were eating their dinner, whether it be a holiday or not, I've even brought Tupperwares to restaurants, which is not really respectful, but I've done it because that was me. I got to take care of myself. So my mom would say, look, if you're going to do this, you're making the choice to do it. You get your own meal. So early on, I learned that, okay, well, I can't expect anybody else to provide me what I need. I have to do it for myself. So, you know, it was a little flip, it was a role reversal. They weren't eating the healthiest, right? But I was trying to eat healthy. So I had to do my own thing, and I had to, you know, get my own food.
And guys, that's okay, because that's what builds the character, right? That's what teaches you. You gotta just step in and play the role and do everything necessary if it's that important to you.
Not everybody's going to be in line with your goals, and you have to make a decision, and your moral compass, who you are and what you want and how to get there. And that's a long struggle a lot of times, because you're going to get a lot of resistance, a lot of friction from many different people. And I would say especially the people closest to you. If you're doing something that's out, this is nutrition, this is fitness, this is entrepreneurship,
schooling.
This is anything. This is anything. People are going to want to drag it down. You've heard the quote, misery loves company, or birds of a feather flock together. So we want to kind of associate ourselves with people who are doing the same thing in line with each other, right? So if you're just kind of, you know, putting yourself out there and not surrounding yourself with the right people, you're going to get a lot of resistance from a lot of different places. And unless you're mentally super duper tough, then it's going to be more of a struggle, you know?
Yeah. And just know more people are going to be against what you're doing than for what you're doing until you hit success. And then they'll all be there saying, I knew you could do it.
Right.
Well,
bullshit!
Yeah, I call it bullshit because in the beginning you were not supportive of it. So just be aware of all of that. And again, just go internal, what's important to you, and do whatever you got to do to get there.